week long. Monday off, now it's the middle of the week, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. We actually have a weather impact alert for tomorrow morning. It's not a big deal. It's not severe weather. It's going to be fog. And if you think back to last week this time, Wednesday night and Thursday night, we had some fog. In fact, we even talked about possibly doing it again a week from then. And we're here now, and it looks like we will be doing it again tonight and tomorrow. We initially had that weather impact alert for just Thursday morning, but it looks like Friday morning, similar, maybe a little less fog than what we'll see for tomorrow morning, but it will impact that morning commute. So let's start there with our weather impact alert. The timing on this is basically going to be 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now, there will be more fog along the coast before 2 a.m. in some locations, all right, both tonight and tomorrow night. Excuse me. The 10 a.m. cutoff is pretty good. Anywhere from about 10 to 10:30, most of the fog should be out of there. So widespread dense fog, visibility is less than a half a mile in some locations. So watch those high-speed highways, like I-4, 275, because if you're going faster and it's thick fog, you're not going to see things as quickly, right? You're going to come up on accidents or stop cars a little bit quicker. We all know what to do. Use those low beams as well. Beautiful out there right now. We've got lots of sunshine across the area. That's the Ascent Building in downtown St. Pete. You see just a few high clouds out there, and that is it. Should be another gorgeous sunset out there. Let's talk about the atmosphere right now with the fog. So we have 76 degrees in the air. That's the air temperature. 66-degree dew point. That number is high, and that is because of those winds that you see here, all right? Southerly winds are bringing in warmer air, of course, but they're also bringing in higher humidity. Okay, dew points, higher dew points. That gives us higher humidity. And when this number drops down, like it's the temperature, right? This evening it'll start dropping down through the 70s into the 60s. When it reaches this number, we get 100% humidity. And that is fog. Okay, and so that's why, because that dew point number is so high, that's why we're watching for that tonight. Now, you can see this offshore. And in fact, some of this is likely a little bit of fog out there, right there at the surface. And you can notice right here kind of moving up as well. In fact, let me pan up here because you're going to be able to see that. Some of this right here is actually fog. And you can see it rolling up in towards the Big Bend area. All right. We're going to see it start to form right out in here and then blow on shore later tonight. By that time, we won't have visible satellite to be able to look at it, but that's what's going to happen this evening. So 63 degrees in the water. That number, because that water's cool, lowers the air temperature. Right? And so when you have southerly winds, it's bringing in dew points in the mid-60s, but it's actually running into an air mass that's cooler now because of that water. And so that causes our chances for fog. And that can make sea fog. And because there's a lot of moisture there to work with, it can be thicker in some locations. Now, we've had some wildfires. We don't have a lot in the area right now, but if you have a wildfire around your area, that smoke actually acts as another nucleus, right? So you've got just regular cloud droplets that make fog, and it's kind of thick. If you have smoke in the mix as well, those smoke particles add water to them, and they become another particle. And so now you've got twice as much fog, and it gets thicker. We don't have a lot of that in the areas I mentioned, but if you have seen some smoke around recently, expect the fog to be even thicker as you get into tomorrow morning. 70s along the coast, 82 in Lakeland, 82 in Frostproof, Wauchula and Sebring. Arcadia right now is at 82 degrees, 76 in Tampa, 77 in Sarasota, St. Pete's at 77, and it's 78 in Newport Richey right now. Though there are the dew points, all right? So kind of an average. Along the coast, it's in the mid-60s, 64 to 67. It's in the upper 50s to low 60s inland. So just think about temperatures dropping. We're going to get to those mid-60s before we get to the low 60s, right? So let's look at the timing now on our forecast. Now look at the numbers. 9 o'clock, upper 60s, kind of still there as we get into 11 o'clock. But after that, after midnight especially, we start dropping into that mid-60s range where we're going to get fog along the coast. All right, and then by tomorrow morning, we'll have fog just about everywhere at that point. All right, so I think some locations before 11 o'clock tonight, we'll see a little bit of fog out there. Most of us won't get too much of it until we get into the early morning hours of Thursday. So let's stop this around 11 o'clock tonight. Look at the coast. All right. Water temperature keeps the air a little bit cooler there. We start the fog a little bit sooner. So we'll be on air tonight at 11 o'clock. I'll have the very latest with the fog and the visibilities, but just expect it to be there. Most folks will be in bed and won't have to worry about that. But if you are working overnight or if you're up early tomorrow morning, you'll see the fog. In fact, let's go out to about 7 in the morning and look how widespread it is and thick. I mean, visibility is less than a half a mile for many locations, okay? So that's real thick, and that goes all the way up through Orlando, Kissimmee, down to Arcadia, Sarasota, all the way up through Crystal River, okay? So pretty good fog. That is 10:30-ish, and most of the fog is out of here. Notice the coastal areas. I think we'll keep some fog offshore, so if you are taking the boat out trying to go offshore, I do think that fog's going to hold tight for most of the day. We'll get a little bit of a break late in the afternoon, but look, it's coming right back. This is 11:30 tomorrow night, and that's Thursday night, right? And into Friday morning, here it comes again. Now, just like what we did last week, the first night, so tomorrow morning will be the thickest. That looks just as thick for Friday morning, right? That's around 7 in the morning. I think Friday will be a little less than what we're going to see tomorrow morning, but it's not going to be that much different. So we decided to go ahead and do a weather impact alert for both tomorrow morning and Friday morning, just to give you a heads up with that fog. Okay, it's no severe weather that we're worried about, but obviously it's just the fog that we'll deal with. And then that's around 11:30. We're clearing things back out. Lots of sunshine. We will keep some fog along the coast. And in fact, there's no change really in the air mass until Sunday, during the day on Sunday. So Friday morning with some fog. Saturday morning, I think we'll see some fog. I don't think it's quite as thick as Thursday and Friday, but I do think we'll see some fog. And then by Sunday morning, we have clouds in the area and even some showers trying to push through. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, kind of foggy start. Saturday will be the least of all of it. All right, after it burns off, we stay warm. We are back in the upper 70s to low 80s again for high temperatures, just like we are out there for today. Notice the boating forecast. See the winds start out of the south and the east, and then they turn to the south, and then they go to the south and the west. I'm going to up those numbers a little bit. I think we're going to get a good 15 knots of wind, especially late tomorrow afternoon. All right? So 1 to 2 foot seas is what we'll go with that, and good 15 knots out of the south-southwest by the afternoon. Now, rain. As I mentioned, we're going to get some rain, it looks like now as we move into Sunday. But if you've been watching, that green on Sunday covered most of the area. The chances, the coverage was a lot higher in the last couple of days than what it is for Sunday today. Okay, so rain chance, we're going to keep it at about 30%. I'm going to bring that number down too. It's just not looking so good as far as the rain chances go. In fact, let's take a look at it now. There's a weak system that kind of gets hung up to our north in this area in here, okay? We're still getting dominated by this high pressure sitting out here. And notice the wind. See them out of the south-southeast, come around to the southwest. That's the warm and moist air that's down here. High dew points coming up into Florida. That's why we have that fog chance, okay? Now, rain stays to our north. Now, as we get into Friday, takes another push. You see this line? It kind of drifted to the north. Now it comes back. I don't think it gets here. I think it holds up into the panhandle. So they'll see some showers. That's Friday afternoon around 5 o'clock. But notice the winds here, still out of the south, kind of pushing it up. The low pressure is trying to develop here off the Delmarva and then moving out. But what's going to happen is we're going to see a low develop in here and try and move off the Carolinas and Georgia. And that will be enough to pull back down and bring this thing through. So watch what happens as we go through. There it is. See, Saturday, we're still dry. We're still looking good. Saturday's a beach day. Friday's a beach day. I mean, we've got a couple really nice days. In fact, I think Thursday you could too. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But this front's going to come through on Sunday morning. That's around 8 in the morning. There's a very small chance for showers. You see it kind of splits more to the north, some to the south and the west. We're kind of stuck in the middle there, which with not much rainfall is what it really means, okay? But look, this is 8 in the morning, okay? So that's just the first half of the day. I know a lot of folks have plans on Sunday. It's the weekend, right? I think the rain chance is small, number one, and number two, it's early, 7, 8, 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, and then I'm going to take it out. I mean, I took it all the way out to 4 o'clock here, but we're not going to see rain most of the day, especially the afternoon hours, okay? So it's not a rain out for Sunday. It will be cooler and windy Sunday afternoon, all right? So the high is going to be like in the mid-70s, but that's going to be very early in the day. This time at 4 o'clock, we're going to be looking at north to northwest winds. It's going to be a little bit breezy, 15 to 25 miles per hour, and the temperatures are going to be dropping. All right, so that means the cooler air is coming in. That low pulls away. But as that low, I mean, the low that's sitting out here that pulls away, remember, it's the winds back behind that are coming in from the north, all right? And it's pulling in that colder air. And that's why it's happening. So the stronger that this low gets to be out here, the more wind it pulls in on the backside. And instead of it being up here, it's actually going to be down here. And so we're closer to it, so it pulls in more air as well. That's a nice, like John Madden, just boom, boom. All right, so let's talk numbers. Now, extremely warm, right? We're looking at The average high switched today from 74 yesterday to 75 today. We're going to be in the upper 70s to low 80s through Saturday. And even Sunday, you see 75 for a high, but that's kind of early. And remember, it's falling in the afternoon. Now, these are forecasted high temperatures for Monday and Tuesday as well. Upper 50s to near 60, right? Monday morning's cold, Tuesday morning's coldest, and then Tuesday afternoon we actually start a little bit of a warm up, and you see next week we're right back at it. All right, so forecast lows. I want to show you Sunday morning. 50s and 60s, mostly in the 60s, Sunday morning, all right? Look at Monday morning, 40s, most areas in the 40s, and then look at Tuesday morning. We will have to watch for some freezing temperatures in Hernando and Citrus County on Tuesday morning, all right? And then we'll warm things back up. All right, Quip, let's take a break, 4:41. When we come back, we're going to take a look at our 7-day in a little bit. We've had some wild weather out west, a ton of snow. We've had 8 fatalities in one avalanche that occurred yesterday. We'll talk a little bit more about that, plus a dust storm. I'll have some video showing you that coming up.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. Unique quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
I was driving when a Ford pickup truck barreled into me from behind, sending me to the hospital.
I knew my husband was going to need an excellent attorney, so I called Dan Newland.
I'm so glad my wife called Dan. Dan really fought for me. He won my case and got me $650,000.
If you've been involved in a car accident, allow me to fight for you. Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan, for winning my husband's case.
All right, welcome back, everybody. 4:43 Wednesday afternoon. We've had some severe weather out west, so it's been very dry there as far as the snowfall goes for most of the western United States, including Colorado. But the Sierra Nevadas, Truckee, Donner's Pass, those areas there in California out towards Nevada, they have seen a ton of snow. There's a place up near Truckee that's seen 55 inches of snow. That's almost 6 feet of snow in just 3 days. All right, so it's causing a lot of problems. There was an avalanche out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this package now.
Authorities searching for missing skiers following an avalanche in California made a grim announcement Wednesday.
8 of the 9 additional skiers have been located deceased. We are still looking for one of the members at this time.
The Nevada County Sheriff's Office says they were part of a group of 15 skiers and guides who were on a 3-day trip in the Castle Peak area near Lake Tahoe when intense storms moved in on Tuesday, dumping several feet of snow.
It was reported by the individuals that survived that they were attempting to go out as a group, that someone saw the avalanche, yelled avalanche, and then it overtook them rather quickly.
Authorities say 6 members of the group were rescued overnight and sustained varying injuries.
2 of the 6 were not mobile. They could not walk.
The area where it happened is known for deep snow and rugged terrain with no trails and no ski patrol. The sheriff's office said because of the conditions, it took several hours to get resources deployed.
Lots of snow, gale force winds, making it impossible to see.
The Nevada County Sheriff says it still has to recover the victims, but the snow conditions are making the process difficult. Esteban Reynoso, CBS News, Nevada City, California.
Yeah, just dangerous. And they've got more snow on the way. Folks have said, please avoid that area. They don't want people going into the Sierra Nevada area because of the snow. They need to get the weather, number one, to stop, and then they need to get the roads cleared. They just don't need that many people up there. There's other snow here. If you could remind me what the other packages we had about the snow. I wanted to show that one as well. Oh, okay, let's go to that out of Arizona. Is this the dust storm? All right, take a look at this. This is some of the winds around the storm that have caused a dust storm out there, and it just causes traffic just to come to a complete stop. Amazing weather out there. It's been fairly quiet as far as, severe threats for them. And you wouldn't think as much of this, but 5 people have been killed in this storm. And that's not, you just don't think about that, right? And the vehicle, it's a multi-vehicle crash down on I-25 in Pueblo. So very, very dangerous conditions. We talk about fog, and I say slow down on those major highways because you're driving and you can't see, and there could be an accident or it could be just a stopped vehicle ahead of you. Kind of the same situation in here, Number one, you've got high wind, so it can blow tractor trailers or large profile vehicles over, and then people are driving, they can't see very well, and they kind of run up into that situation. I'm not exactly sure what caused that accident, but it did result in some fatalities. So, yeah, a lot of weather going on out there. It does look like things will get a little bit better as we get through later this week. I want to show you over on our computer the bigger picture out west, and the low is now sitting out over, Utah, parts of Colorado, up into Montana as well, and that is where most of the snow is falling right now. There's been a little bit of a break in the Sierras, but not as much. It looks like they're starting to get more snow coming back in now. When you see these lows sitting here, they just rotate moisture back in, all right? And then it comes up these mountains. And you have something that's called orographic lifting. The wind's coming in like this, it hits the mountain, it goes up, and then it comes back down on the other side. When it's going up, it's literally, that is like when it goes up the face of the mountain, it's called orographic lifting. It's literally like squeezing water out of a sponge, all right? And that causes a lot of rainfall, a lot of snowfall at the higher elevations, a ton of it. And then on the backside, it tends to dry out. And that's why if you've ever been out there, on one side you have lots of trees, it's kind of green. On the other side, it gets more deserty almost. It's very dry and it kind of goes into some of the desert, the high desert out there. And that's because of orographic lifting. On one side squeezes the moisture out as it's going up, and then on the other side as it comes back down, you have less moisture, you have sinking air. All right, and so that is one of the reasons why they get, this is nothing new at all. It's been that for thousands and thousands of years there with these flows coming in, but it all depends on which way, number one, where the low is, all right, where that low happens to be, and which way the wind is. If the wind's coming in more from the south, you get a little bit of that. But if it's coming in almost perpendicular to the mountains, then you get a lot of it. And that's kind of what we're seeing at this particular time, and also what kind of moisture it is. When you look out a little bit, you have to find out where all this moisture is coming in. A lot of this is coming from the north, but sometimes you have it coming in from all the way over in Hawaii. And that can be just a ton of moisture in the atmosphere. So that's more for them. If you notice, look at the difference. The central U.S. is very quiet. We've got just a kind of quiet system moving across the north and the east. And look at that. Most of it in the northeast right now is rain in February. All right. You're talking upstate New York. Look at Boston is kind of mixing with a little bit of snow right now. It looks like most of that's sinking to the south. Syracuse dealing with a mix, but mostly rain right there. And in fact, they could get some thunderstorms in Syracuse. Okay, just about 4:50. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up with our local forecast, including 7-day forecast that shows a pretty good cool down.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
I was driving when an 18-wheeler turned in front of me. I locked up my brakes, bam, slid dead into the truck. Bloody and hurt, I was loaded into an ambulance, and that's when I put out my phone and called attorney Dan Newton. Dan jumped right on it. He was in my corner the whole way. He fought the fight from beginning to end and got me $1 million.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Dan, your awesome team deserves 6 stars. Thank you for winning my case.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, a psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy.
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30 right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. 451 and a half. We are looking at mild temperatures and a little bit more extra moisture than what we've been seeing, higher dew points. And so as a result, we'll have that fog risk, especially tomorrow morning. Same kind of thing on Friday. I think Saturday, a little less fog than those 2 days. But notice the dew point trend here as we get into Sunday. You see it really kind of dropping off Sunday afternoon. So during the day on Sunday, drier and much cooler air is coming in on some pretty good winds, and that's going to keep us cooler for at least a couple of days. Now, we've seen some pretty good cool downs. I don't think that Monday and Tuesday are that cold compared to what we saw back in January, but I do think, we'll struggle to get out of the 50s on Monday, and then Tuesday will be the coldest start, with Tampa itself close to around 40 degrees. Which means Hernando, Citrus County, we're talking lower 30s. We're going to be very close to some freezing temperatures again in North Hernando and most of Citrus County away from the water. Inland locations like Polk County, I think will generally be in the mid 30s, but we could see a little bit of frost around the area as we get into Tuesday morning. So keep that in mind. The red bars that you see there, those are our weather impact alerts for the fog. And we expect that again both Thursday morning and Friday morning. I've got that running until about 10 in the morning, and that's about the time most of it burns off. Some of it will last a little bit longer than that, so we will have to keep our eye on that. But generally, it's that morning commute that you really want to keep your eye on. So think about the kids at the bus stop, that kind of thing. Take a little bit extra time for that morning commute. Now, this is the temperature forecast through the rest of the month. And what you're going to notice is it is starting to warm up a little bit back in the south and the west. And the reason why is this cool down that we're getting right now. It's not huge. But essentially, it's basically, the cool down is going to look something like this. Even come